So good to be back. Thanks to Niata and the team for holding the fort while I was on holiday. I really appreciate it. And all our wonderful viewers who kept sending me messages while I was away. Thank you all. And welcome to ArtHouse. I'm Melinda Akinlami. We have loads of interesting stories lined up. As schools resume in some parts of the country, our wordsmith is making a case for the teachers.
Our spoken word this week is by John King Ayanfe, entitled The Tale of a Teacher. He fathers an unborn child, of a woman whose pants he never saw, of a girl his mentorship transforms. Like others, he poured his milk in the wrong yard. They paint the streets with words for his name, erecting his image for tear and burn. Hanging his soul for damnation and destruction, they found him guilty in their courts. They hired vipers for his reputation. They yet defaced the beauty of their uniforms. Pretentious colleagues, merchants of gossips. The few who trust him remain his shield. Lickety split, they named his fairness immoral. Disgusting, folks execute judgments without an investigation. They won't ask if you're guilty or not before they make you a gift to persecutions. Behold him, singing and crying in silence, crucified in folks' hearts, burnt to ashes with words. Two names they dragged to the mud, the innocent royal name and the winner's name. Tell the restless parrots to hush their repeated rumors. That teacher, a father and friend to all, there on the street, his pew portraying his sorrow, a portrait they have painted in his heart eternally.
I guess that poem is apt considering the times we're in. Nice one, John King Ayanfe, for penning down his thoughts that inspired that discourse. Their efforts should not be taken for granted as they play a huge role in shaping the future inside and outside the classroom. And you know what they say? Learning is a never-ending curve.
The Freedom Park is gradually getting back to life as a few exhibitions have been hosted here after the relaxed restrictions owing to the COVID-19. These are the artists being showcased.
Today's exhibition, we are just trying to project the event after COVID-19. I think that's the major purpose why we're gathering here today, to see the reaction of people or the world after the event of COVID, which is going to come to pass very soon.
We try to bring students from all over Nigeria together, and we exhibit and showcase their work, telling them to paint something. Normally we always have a team for them to paint, and we have a panel of judges that will judge, and before the event they pick up the arts from different schools to exhibit on that day, and we showcase it.
Young, full of energy, ready to show their creations to the audience after being kept at home owing to the pandemic. So most of the works of art done with different artistic techniques reflects the times.
There's this particular day that I was at home. I was just watching the news like that. So I just saw it. I said, I think I need to record this period because as time goes on, this whole thing will be out of town. Like, okay, I just go on my canvas and pick up my colors. Then I try to like record what will happen after the whole pandemic. Because for sure, before pandemic, everybody were outside. But right now, we are indoor. We have the state and federal lockdown. Both of them announced the lockdown. So we all stay indoor. I said, okay, let me quickly come up with something. So I came up with this idea. I titled it Merriment After. That is, after COVID, what will happen?
During this period of corona lockdown and everything, the corona came as a surprise to everyone because at the beginning of this year, we all celebrated and shouted Happy New Year. No one expected such a thing to come and hit us at that beginning, at the early beginning of the year. But with the way it came about, some people started losing hope. We were gripped with fears, and that doesn't solve it. Even as people were maintaining the safety measures, some people lost faith, thinking that that's the end of the world. But with this piece here, I'm trying to use it to pass a message that despite everything that happened, we shouldn't lose fear. If you look at the image here and the way I've rendered it, the image there looking down like someone that is lost in hope. But the message is passing is that we shouldn't lose fear, we should have faith.
As a masked man has become the new norm, from sunrise to sunset, they explore this with creative interpretation.
They're beautiful pieces of artworks. They are been in keeping with the theme of showcasing the world today that we're living in, which is the coronavirus pandemic world. The artists were able to capture, albeit in artistic form, the mood of the world today, where everybody has to wear a mask. I can see one that is showing beautiful florals, in form of the mask that we all have to wear now.
I'm so impressed with most of the works I've seen here, even though the abstract one with COVID. I'm so happy that these students, within a short period of time, they delivered to the task that they were given and all that.
Some praise the medical practitioners who are in the front lines facing a new enemy in the race to find a vaccine that will bring relief to the globe.
The title of my work is Heal the World, and the main reason why I choose that concept of art is because the pandemic issue, COVID-19, actually brought a kind of huge responsibilities on doctors and medical practitioners, because they had to find a cure and actually also have to treat people that have the sickness. So they had to treat them. So a huge responsibility was saddled on them in finding the cure and also helping to put people in isolation centers, treat them, take care of them, and make sure that they come out of the pandemic healthy. That is why I choose the concept of Heal the World and try to put more responsibilities, like try to shed more light on the roles that doctors and medical practitioners are playing in the issue of COVID-19.
While others use techniques such as expressionism to reveal the new reality, emotions that interplayed during the lockdown found expression on this canvas.
I consider myself as an expressionist artist. That is why I have done the work behind me. So the work is a reflection of myself during the pandemic. because I titled it a new reality series. You understand? It's a mirror, a reflection of myself. I just try to capture myself in different psychological conditions I find myself during the lockdown. You understand? Because you're all alone, and those times can really be depressing to some people. That's why I've chosen the oldest form of expression, which is charcoal, and they are quite known for their very dark, dark contrast they give to artworks.
The Lasgidi cultural art gave these young creatives a voice to bear their minds, but it also gives the audience a window into how some creatives have interpreted the times.
Last week, we saw Jacqueline making bold statements with her pen joint, and there are others like her online.
So we have more drawings this week from The Seventh Hand, which is done by Akinola. It's done with charcoal on paper. Then this pencil drawing by Caleb Afolabi is called Self-Portrait. Too Young to be Depressed is Femi's drawing done with ballpoint pen on paper. Then The Joy of Motherhood is another drawing by Ugo Ugo. This charcoal and acrylic on paper work is done by Olamide Ogunlade. It's called Ferocity. Then Damilare Yayi's pen on paper says everyone should have a reason to smile. Ebupa Pascal has this charcoal pencil and acrylic on canvas work. He calls it Onoche. Then Austin Osanapa has this pencil on paper work, which is a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Then another one is done by Emmanuel Wankwo. He's comparing the drawing he made with pencil and charcoal versus the picture. And for all fans of Lekon, we have this one by Richard Ogboso. It's called A Grateful Heart. It's a charcoal drawing. Those are the works of art you sent in this week. We appreciate it and encourage you to keep them coming.
We've been getting loads of works dedicated to Chadwick, and it shows that he has left his footprints in the sands of time and touched a lot of lives with his art. When ArtHouse returns, artists tell us the real-life scenarios that have shaped their creative journey, plus more in a moment. Do stay with us.
The storyteller creates the memory that survivors must have. Otherwise, their surviving world would have no meaning. Stories can break the dignity of a people, but stories can also repair that broken dignity.
Before we get to our feedback segment, let's enjoy the videos and creative process images sent by you.
We begin with Felix Nwokolo's write-up. He says, "The beauty of a girl, Ibukun, inspired me to write another poem titled, Shall I Compare You to the Luminaries?" He goes on to show off his poem, which we will take on the show pretty soon. Ikechukwu Nwokeri says, "As a fresh art graduate, I needed to make money, so I approached the school to make mural paintings for them. I even offered a free frame, but the proprietor gave me the cold shoulder. I was flattered, although I was so dazed when I found out they didn't think much of my offer." Gatswell Chima says, "The only thing that inspired me is tears. A lot of close people discouraged me when I needed to be encouraged. Each time I close my eyes to cry, I see images, then I begin to paint the content of my heart." Interesting works. Clement Agolo says, "What inspires me is fear. This has been the starting point for me to be true to myself by accepting my true nature." Okwade Olamilekon says, "The real life scenarios that inspire me are chaos, the environment and my imagination, the complications of life and its impact on everyday people. That has really motivated me as a creative." Wow, interesting inspirations here. Now let's see what Osino Sanabo says. He says, "I honestly get motivated by the pain of growing up as an artist in the South Delta State. It is only the artist that grew up here, like Professor Bruce Onobrakwe, who understands that you have to be extremely serious to make it as an artist. If not, your talent will be overlooked. I keep creating, hoping that one day the pain and stigma of not being fully appreciated will go away."
Your ArtHouse experience doesn't have to end when the show's not on television. Interact with us on any of our social media platforms. See any edition of ArtHouse on Channels TV's YouTube page. Send your works of art to ArtHouse on Channels Television by joining the group on Facebook. We are everywhere.
Some of those comments we saw earlier gave me goosebumps because it's really inspiring to hear the stories behind the art. Tell us yours by dropping a comment just beneath the question, which is on our Facebook page. Catch up with this and other episodes on our various social media platforms as well. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Thank you for watching and see you next time.